Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're here before the LCQ is even starting. I got effys with me. I got Wippie, both from Team Version 1. Just gonna talk a bit about you guys leading into this event, what's been going on with the team. I mean, I kind of want to start, honestly, a bit back talking about Iceland, because that was the breakout moment for you guys. Like, you as an individual player, you became known as like the clutch guy for the team after that event. You guys had a really good run. I mean, to start, I guess, Wippie, what was it like not being able to be there with the team after joining and helping them qualify?
I mean, that was really depressing, to be honest, when you like qualify for a big event and you just don't go, and you have to watch them like in your bed, like you have to watch these games. It was kind of sad.
Yeah, for sure. And then as well for you, Effys, what is that like having to make that adjustment before the event?
It was pretty rough actually. Like Wippie was a hard player to replace. It was like we didn't really prepare that much honestly with Jamal. We just hoped that we could get the time in Iceland with like quarantine and stuff to prepare with him. Sadly, the PCs and the ping didn't help, so we didn't have much time to prepare. It was just sad overall. I think Maxime described it pretty well. It was just a sad thing.
Yeah, for sure. And then after that event, you guys finally got, well, almost. You almost had your roster back together. Wippie was back in, but roster issues continued with Zelsis not able to play for a bit. But people still had really high hopes for you guys going into Stage 3 after that showing. So for you guys, what do you think within the team went wrong in Stage 3 that you weren't able to qualify?
I think it was all about preparation, honestly. Like you said, we had too many roster issues, like in a short amount of time. Like we had to go to Iceland with our stand-in, then we come back, we have to prepare another stand-in, and then it doesn't go too well with our second stand-in. Then we have like 2 weeks to prepare for the main event with our original lineup, which we haven't played with since like 2 months, maybe at this point, maybe 3. So it was just too hard. Like it was just too much to handle, honestly. Like for such a short period of time. Sorry. So yeah, it was just preparation, honestly, because we still were good. Like we still had, I feel like people put in a lot of time individually, and like our skill was still there. It's just preparation was like not there at all, actually.
Okay. And what do you think about the Stage 3 run that you guys had?
Wait, stage 3 is with Viv or?
With Tief, yeah, with Tief and Jordan.
I mean, it was definitely harder to play with Viv because Jordan was like a mid-round caller for us, and like he would help us like in hard situations. When Viv was like a little bit quiet, I guess. That's not his bad. That's like how he is as a person. So that's why it was like hard for us.
Gotcha. And then also, one thing I did want to talk about within that Stage 3 run, there was a pretty common like community narrative that you guys were just so good within that meta around Iceland, with Astra just being included and all of the post-plant util. You guys were one of the teams probably abusing that the most. Do you think that had any part in why you weren't as successful in Stage 3, just a meta shift?
There is a little bit of that maybe, because we didn't play Sky at all, which Sky was super overpowered in Stage 3, as we saw like every team use it. But that also comes down to preparation. It's not that we didn't adapt, we just didn't have time because we just had to change roster like 16 times between events. So I think there was a little bit of that. But I still, like, even our post plant was not good. Like we could still play post plant. It's not nerfed that much. Like we could still do it. It's just even that part of our gameplay was not good anymore because we didn't practice it enough. So nothing was working really. But yeah, there was a little bit of adaptation that we didn't do for Stage 3 due to us having to prepare with like 3 different lineups basically.
Yeah, definitely. And then I wanted to just ask as well, with all that going on and with Zelsis not able to play, etc., what was the mental of the team like at that point? Like, were you guys still able to keep a positive environment? Was it frustrating at that point? What was going on within the team? And I could start with Wippie.
I mean, speaking for myself, I was kind of sad when I heard the news that Jordan can play. I don't know about anyone on the team.
Everybody was kind of bummed.
Yeah, people were like kind of sad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not having, I mean, when we were still positive. I mean, Vanity's a positive guy. Like, he's not, like, he didn't get too emo about it. Neither do I. I'm still pretty positive. Like, the team itself, we're all pretty, like, hyped up guys, and we're not too, like, we don't get emo when stuff like that happens. Like, we just keep going. There was some frustrations, though, like, towards the end when we lost to KCP and, like, 100 Ts, we're like, you know, with Jordan, we probably would have won those games and stuff. So this started to like build up a little bit of frustration. I think it felt like in our gameplay throughout the rest of the stage 3, like there was just a lot of build up frustration and just a little feeling powerless, like like everything's against us, like this is a bit too much. But yeah, positive. We're in good shape.
Definitely. And at that point as well, then after that, of course, Vanity is now no longer with the team. He's playing with Cloud9, and you're back as the in-game leader, correct? And so that brings its own set of problems. You have to take over the team then at a time where frustrations are probably pretty high. And it's not that you haven't been the in-game leader before. You were for Gen G for a while, if I remember correctly, too. So what is it like then having to become the in-game leader at both a tough time for the team, but then also to replace a player? What is that like for you?
It was pretty stressful, I'm gonna be honest. Like like you said, it was a hard time. Like we have the biggest tournament of our year coming. We have a new player. Like you said, there was a bit of frustration from the past events. So what we had to do is like a hard reset, basically. Like we just had to like start from ground up almost and be like, you know, let's forget like the past 3 months, 4 months, because these were not good times, and just like try and move forward with a new fifth. Trying out players was also really hard because, like, you know, with contracts and everything, it's never easy to like find a player for a top team, I feel like. Yeah, it was just really hard and really stressful. But I think, honestly, thinking back about it, how I saw the whole thing like a month ago when I learned about the whole thing, and like thinking where we are today, I feel like we've done just an amazing job, like preparing and just resetting and me learning from my mistakes. And having Zelsis on the team is just great because even if you're still the quote-unquote IGL, having this guy being able to like mid-round and like knowing you when he knows you're like, oh, I don't know what to call here because like too much is going on, he's gonna step up and like pick up the slack. It's great to have a teammate like that.
Yeah, for sure. And then I do want to ask you then, Wippie, what is like the difference between playing under Vanity as the IGL and now playing under effys as the IGL?
I mean, Anthony was kind of like more fearless in the way he was calling. When effys is kind of like more chill, I guess, if you can say that. And I don't really know. I think effys is doing a great job right now, so it feels kind of natural how he stepped in this role. It was like he was born to be an IGL. I don't even know who I like more, like who IGLs is better.
Doesn't have to be who's better, just what, not necessarily who's better. Tell me about why effys is worse than Vanity. No, I'm just asking about like their different styles, their approach, how it's different.
I mean, as I said, like Anthony's more aggressive, the way how he calls. Like he's like he can call like Rache like 5 times in a row, like he doesn't care, you know. When effys is like more chill, so yeah.
Yeah, I got you. And then, so just heading into this event, it finally got announced. Long have we awaited for Odorous to be announced on V1. It has finally happened. So what is it like playing with Odorous? And I guess what about him specifically, when you were in the trial process, made you want to sign him for the team as the new fifth?
Well, the fact that he was calling on a team that's like a little bit less, not as good, if I could say, and still having insane stats and just leading them to good victories. And the fact that he plays so aggro, because like Maxime said, Vanity is a very aggressive player. Like he goes for picks, he just doesn't care, he runs it down a lot, which has his good sides but his bad sides at the same time. And now we were looking for someone that can also run it down, and Odorous quite literally runs it down quite a bit. So I mean, we like that from him. The fact that he's not scared, like he will take these duels in high pressure situations. He does not care, and that's something we knew we had to replace that we lost from Vanity. So that's what he brings us, I feel like.
And then last thing, I mean, I guess we're here, we're heading into the tournament, and you have Cloud9 in the first round, which is there's a good, obviously there's like that's the storyline matchup because you're playing against Vanity, but also I think there's cool history between both of your teams. That was the final qualifying match for Iceland, where you guys were able to beat them in what was just a pretty crazy series. So heading into this match, what's on your mind? What are the concerns with playing against Cloud9? What's the approach going to be like?
It's kind of a well, we kind of know what map they don't like. They kind of know what map we don't like. I mean, obviously, I know Anthony pretty well. He knows us pretty well. He knows our weakness on some maps, so we're gonna have to think about that. Like, first, like I have some examples in mind that I want to keep to myself, obviously, but yeah, he definitely knows some of the weakness on some maps, and we're gonna have to work around that. It's a pretty stressful matchup. Like honestly, I mean, like there's a lot on the line, obviously, and it's gonna be my first match on stage. It's going to be quite literally my first match as the IGL for V1. It's going to be on stage against our old IGL. So you can imagine it's pretty stressful, but I've always been pretty good at handling the stress, so I think we'll be just fine. But yeah, I think it's a very hype matchup for good reasons. I think both teams were looking very, very good right now.
For sure. Wippie, what do you make of Cloud9, your first opponent?
I think it's gonna be an easy game. I can't wait to beat Anthony. He's a snake. He left us. So yeah, it's gonna be an easy 2-0 for us.
That's why Wippie wanted to get on the couch, get in here and talk some shit. All right, that's effys and Wippie from V1. Thank you guys for the interview, for sitting down. Best of luck in the tournament, the first match against Cloud9, and we should hopefully have some more interviews for the teams later.